What we've all been waiting for is finally here. This week's episode of Matt Armstrong's Bugatti Chiron rebuild has reached a major turning point. The wide-body Chiron Pur Sport has finally been painted, and the transformation is something nobody could have imagined when this car first arrived. Purple paint, exposed carbon fiber, a completely redesigned wide body. After everything that's gone into this project, this is the moment it has all been building toward. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because Matt Armstrong has just taken the world's first wide-body Bugatti Chiron Pur Sport to another level. And now that the paint is on, the car looks completely different from when this project began. So let's take a closer look at the wing decision that changed the build. The 5-day paint transformation, and the moment Matt finally saw the car come together. Before a single drop of paint could go onto the car, Matt had one major decision left to make. The Venuum wide-body kit was designed around a standard Chiron, not the Pur Sport. That meant the wing mounting platform supplied with the kit didn't match the mounting points on the Pur Sport. So Matt had two choices: modify the Venuum wing to fit the Pur Sport, or remove the Venuum wing blades and use the original Pur Sport wing. After considering both options, Matt made his decision. The Venuum blades came off, and the original Pur Sport wing went on. Once it was sitting on the car, Matt immediately preferred the new look. He said,
"I think that looks a million times better."
It makes it look more expensive.
Yeah, it looks more like OEM Plus.
Yeah, it does look nice.
I'm still not 100% convinced, but let's see what the final product will look like.
And that decision gave the build a completely different character. This wasn't simply a Venuum kit fitted to a Bugatti anymore. Matt was customizing the kit to suit the Pur Sport itself. With the wing decision made, Matt decided to test the car before committing to paint. He drove it around the workshop. The goal was simple: find out whether the new bodywork would actually clear the ground. And with the front splitter sitting incredibly low, everyone was watching carefully. Then, it cleared. The ground clearance was almost perfect. For the first time since the crash, the Bugatti was moving under its own power with the Venuum wide body installed. Matt looked around at the car and said,
Gotta take it all in. Gotta take it all in. It's the last time we're gonna see it like this.
And after everything that had happened to this Bugatti, it was a major moment. Then came the biggest visual transformation: the paint. Matt took the Chiron to Jack's body shop, and they had just 5 days to complete the job. But this wasn't simply a color change. The existing wrap had to come off, the PPF underneath it had to be removed, and the $700,000 wide body kit needed to be stripped, prepared, sanded, and painted from scratch. Jack and his team got straight to work. Every panel was prepared, every surface was blocked and sanded, and the gaps between the Venuum kit and the original body panels were carefully smoothed out. Then Tim stepped in, the Candyman, and the color chosen for this Bugatti was purple. It was a Lamborghini purple supplied by a company called BFF, with a pearlescent finish that changes as the light moves across the body, once the paint started going on. The transformation was obvious. Matt described it as one of the best paint jobs he'd seen completed in such a short period of time. And Jack and the Candyman managed to finish it in 5 days, with 7 hours and 25 minutes to spare. When Matt finally saw the result, he said it looked 10 times better than the wrap. But finishing the paint didn't mean the project was finished. There was still plenty of work left. Bob flew out to Miami to repair the air conditioning system. Custom bent aluminum pipes were made. The fittings were soldered. A vacuum was pulled and held. And then the system was filled with gas from underneath the car. Because the Chiron's air conditioning filling points are hidden beneath the undertray, only Bugatti would put the filling points underneath the car. Then the door cards went back on. White on the inside, purple on the outside, matching the seats and tying the interior into the new exterior. Matt looked at them and said, "That looks mega." The engine covers also returned from paint and silver. The wheels came back from Black Horse in the same finish, and the bronze accents across the car were replaced with silver. The build now had a completely different visual identity: purple and silver. Then came the front end. The complete Venuum front end had to be assembled off the car first, because some of the bolts become inaccessible once it's mounted to the chassis. The wings were fitted to the bumper. The grills were cut and bolted into position. And finally, the headlights were installed. The DRL squares lit up. That instantly recognizable Chiron signature was finally visible through the new front end, and suddenly, the Bugatti looked complete. Then Matt fitted the wheels. The original Chiron spec tires were transferred over because the tires required for the car's top speed run aren't available anywhere else. The car was lowered from the axle stands, and Matt stepped back. The wide arches pushed the stance far beyond anything Bugatti produced from the factory. The silver wheels sat flush with them. The purple paint reacted to the light, and the silver engine covers could be seen through the rear glass. Matt looked at the car and said,
I think this is a huge difference from the last video. My mind is completely turned from the start. This kit looks unreal. There's not another Bugatti Chiron which is going to look like this.
And there was still one important person who hadn't seen the result. Alex G., the owner of the car. The man who paid a significant buyback price to get it back after Bugatti walked away. He hadn't seen the finished color yet, so Matt had one message for him.
Alex, I hope you like it. We've definitely worked hard to get to this point. We're almost across the finish line. Hopefully in the next video, we'll get that screen in and we'll be testing it at top speed. What a result.
Despite how far the project has come, the Bugatti still isn't finished. The windscreen is missing. The bonnet hinges were severely bent in the original crash and need to be straightened by Bob before the bonnet can sit correctly. The rear wing is still at the body shop being painted. The A-pillars need to be fitted. The wipers still need to go on. The undertrays need to be installed. And the front bonnet gap still needs some attention. So there is more work to do. But the finish line is now clearly in sight. Matt believes they're almost there. And hopefully, in the next video. The windscreen will go in. The remaining parts will be fitted. And this Bugatti will finally be ready for its biggest test yet. The top speed run. After everything this car has been through, that final test could be the moment that proves whether this extraordinary rebuild was truly worth it. So make sure you're subscribed, because the top speed run is coming.